because I want to be considerate of everybody's time on this, and we'll jump into this. First of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us again today. This is the second half of our webinar that we started last week, talking about digital and remote proofing and how it works into your current workflow. So we call it From Think to Ink. And I'd like to introduce today's speakers, kind of lay out a little bit of what we're going to be doing, and then we'll get right into the meat of the presentation. Today's presenters are going to be Dan Gillespie, the Director of Technical Services at Alder Color Solutions. Myself, I'm Marty Davis. I'm the President of Alder Color Solutions. Dan Caldwell, the President of ICS Color and Remote Director, and Vicki Blake, the Vice President of Development, Business Development, and for ICS Color and Remote Director. We'll be your panel who will be speaking with you today. We will be recording this session, so if somebody wants to watch it later on, or if somebody, somebody that wanted to see it but couldn't make the live webinar, it'll be available. We do have a chat window, actually a Q&A section that you'll be able to type your questions into. So if there are anything comes up during the webinar, feel free to type your questions in there, and we'll answer all of them at the end of the session. As we go ahead, and want to give you a little bit of how we're going to be proceeding. First, we'll talk a little bit about who is ICS and who is Alder. Quick recap of our webinar last week. Then we'll be talking about digital proofing in your workflow and at your press side. And then a solution that we have developed and we'd like to talk about, which is our remote press check and proof check. So starting with ICS Color, like I said, two of our panelists are with them. They're headquartered in Cardiff by the Sea in the US, in California. Their core competency is color. That's what they concentrate on. They work on verified accurate color to all different color viewers. They have a full staff of engineers. They provide training and support in a client server based software solution that tracks files all the way from the design features to the press. And that's where we come up really with the Think to Ink. We have support located in the US, the EU, Hong Kong, and Latin America. Alder Color Solutions is headquartered in Portland, Oregon. We provide global support for color IT services, color management, and color managed solutions. We provide training, support, wherever color really matters. So anything related to color in any, whether it's printing, manufacturing, brand management, we are color. So why are we bundling this together? Why do we work together, and what does the partnership bring, and how does it benefit you? Obviously, Remote Director and ICS Color, they created the first certified color accurate display system for proofing. They have multiple patents for remote color display verification and calibration. Alder Color, our team of color experts, what we are, we're the feet on the streets. We're the people who actually take all these great products that ICS and Remote Director have put together, and we are the ones who can go ahead and integrate it into your system and color manage it for you. We work together to provide a solution for color digital proofing. Real quickly, to advance in color proof in digital proofing, I think what I'll do is I'll turn this over to, I'll let Vicki handle this part. She can recap last week's, it was mainly their piece.
We talked about the history of proofing last week, and we also talked about digital proofs versus hard copy proofs. And basically everything we do today, from a photographer all the way through to the press, is digital, except for a hard copy proof. I mean, the minute you print something out and you mail it to someone through land mail and they mark it up with a Sharpie, you're breaking that digital workflow. And if you can go to the next slide, there are a lot of problems when you break the digital workflow. You don't know the color conditions that the proof was created under. That's why a lot of the pre-press companies will put stamps on it. There are multiple versions with no control, which is really one of the biggest issues. I've watched people inside consumer products good companies. I spent a couple of years inside Hershey, and I watched them with these proofs saying, okay, now wait a minute, is this the one after we asked them to warm up that Munsell maroon? So that's a big issue and takes a lot of time. Your comments and approvals all have to be compiled manually, and the process can take weeks. Expectations are often left unmet. So the solution is digital color proofing. It saves you time, it significantly reduces your cost, it improves communication, and it's actually a much more sustainable solution. So back to that digital proofing, color proofing workflow. With this workflow, a single latest version of the proof, and you know it's the right one, is being served up to everyone from the cloud. It can be served to multiple people simultaneously, and you can even refresh your screen and see a comment that somebody made a couple of minutes ago. Your color and viewing conditions are not only right, they're all stored within the file. So you can double check them and make sure they're right, know how the file was created. Your comments and sign-off are all compiled for you, and all your versioning is tracked. All of this is automatically. The approved file is immediately available to the printer for download. So digital color proofing we describe as verified color accurate monitor-based digital color proofing, which is a mouthful, but it basically means that what we do is control the way people are seeing the proof. So if you're a color critical approver and you're invited to a proof, the first thing we do is our software will go out and actually check the calibration status of your monitor. It will see the last time it was calibrated, and it will see if and when it passed calibration. If not, we will put a mask over the screen and we will disable everything but the calibrate button and force you to calibrate and bring that monitor into compliance before we allow you to actually visualize the proof. It also gives you a connected workflow, and that way we know that all viewers are seeing exactly the same color. We do also support hybrid proofing. So if you go through the whole digital workflow up until the printer and he doesn't have a monitor on press, what he can do is actually utilize our software to send the file to a calibrated Epson, and we'll create the same color match on that Epson that we do on screen. So in a nutshell, what we're basically saying is there's a lot of cost savings. It's a lot faster. There's a more accurate color, including paper color, and it's more trackable and green to utilize digital color proofing versus a hard copy proof. And that was kind of the summary of what we talked about last week. Dan Gillespie, take it away.
Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. So this is just an illustration of, some people's workflows. So in the upper left-hand corner, we have designers. These are, creative people. This could be textiles, it could be packaging. It doesn't really matter. We have photographers that are taking photos. And then these elements, need to be communicated to a design team, maybe to some of their clients, and out to printing companies around the world who might be reproducing these images and need to all communicate together. So if digital color proofing is so awesome, why isn't everybody doing it? And there's several reasons for that. And this is, our opinion, which is that from what we've been able to gather, printing companies are hesitant. They, I think all of us have been instilled for years and years that what we're seeing on our monitors is not correct in terms of color. And of course, that's true for most cases, but it doesn't mean that it can't be. And also, the printing companies, make money from the proofs that they generate. So there's a revenue stream around the physical inkjet proof, and they, haven't figured out how to, create that revenue stream around the electronic proof. But the truth is, that digital is now and the future, and it's going to go this way no matter when. It's just going to happen at some point. So digital proofs have been around for almost 20 years. Dan Caldwell and Remote Director have been around for, the product has been a viable solution for 20 years. So there's a common misconception that digital proofs are not as accurate as physical proofs, but that's because lots of people are looking at them on cheap displays that are not calibrated properly. The color management settings aren't proper. Maybe they're looking at it these days on a tablet or an iPhone or smartphone. And of course, those are not going to be accurate. So accurate digital proofs are possible with the correct settings, the correct software and hardware, and color management, to the point where they may be more color accurate than any proof ever. And in our previous presentation, we talked about all the different generations of proofing systems. So why not just use soft proofing in Photoshop? That's a good question that we get quite a bit. And so soft proofing in Photoshop is possible, but you need several things. You need a professional graphics display. You need that display calibrated to some specific settings. And then you also need the ICC profile of the device that the image or document is eventually going to get printed on, so that you can accurately render a soft proof on the screen. So the creatives must know all these things and go through all these things to get an accurate preview. And even when you do all that, the Adobe Creative Cloud applications do a great job of soft proofing CMYK and RGB files, given that all these things are proper. But they will never give you accurate color in terms of more than 4 channels, including extended gamut and or any spot channels or spot colors. So that negates a huge portion of people from using Photoshop. And of course, it's not easy, although it is capable. So proper lighting is critical in the viewing of the digital proof, just like it is in the hard copy proof. The environment determines what you see. Color is nothing more than the light that you're viewing it under. So proper lighting, viewing lighting, and ambient room lighting are critical to getting the accurate color perception. And this box includes a just norm light viewing booth, but we represent both GTI and just in standard lighting. So this is the proof check box. And what you're looking at here is a PVC box that's a desktop unit. Right behind the proof check logo here is a 5000K LED light that's mounted in the viewing station, so that you could also put a physical proof in here and compare the physical proof to the digital proof so that you could see that they matched. This package is brand new from ICS, launched in Q4 of 2020, and it includes a professional graphics monitor, the light booth, which you see here, a colorimeter, which is a measuring device. It comes with a computer and a subscription to Remote Director software. So digital proofing at the press has really not been a thing, and this is where we really want to focus as one of the main things in this presentation. So with inkjet proofs, the proof is generally targeting a standard. So when a printing company outputs an inkjet proof for you, they probably have it set to match some sort of regional or international standard like Grackle, which would be in North America. The printers measure the color with specific values to show the accuracy and tolerance deviation. They can measure color bars right off the proof and prove that they're within a certain tolerance to any given standard. So when running a printing press to the standard, the printer will match the proof. So the proof isn't set up to match the press. Both the press and the proof are set up to match the standard. And as long as they're both within a tight tolerance, then the proof matches the press. So the procedure is to fly someone out to approve this. So generally what they'll do is someone from the brand company or the print buyer side will fly someone out to the printing company to do a press approval or a press okay, a color okay, press check, whatever you want to call it. It's referred to a bunch of different things. But what happens when that happens? The problems with in-person press checks is that often the person that they send to do the press check is more of a creative person, and they many times have little knowledge of the printing process or of color management or color science. So they're not measuring anything from the press sheet. They are just eyeballing it. And maybe they have that inkjet proof that they signed off on, and they're visually comparing that to what's coming off of the printing press. So this is highly inaccurate. It's not based on any math or science, and we have better solutions for this. So it's very time consuming also. The printing company is required to coordinate all their production schedules around the client's arrival and travel. And the downtime between press runs for review can take hours. We have clients that we've talked to that regularly have press checks that take 10, 12 hours for very discerning clients. So, and it's also very costly. The clients spend lots of money, in some cases over $1 million annually, and they're paid to fly people around, put them up in hotels, buy them rental cars and meals, and have them out of the office not being productive. And the printers need to spend lots of money on printers, ink, paper, and time of employees. And of course, these days with the pandemic, printing companies and clients both are limiting their people in their facilities. And of course, the travel and the gathering restrictions force an urgent push to turn to a digital or virtual solution. And so advancing remote technologies, with these technologies available, the press checks are forced to adapt as well. So remote press check. This is a brand new product that we've developed in conjunction with Remote Director and ICS. It's a completely safe, efficient, and totally accurate remote press check that can save thousands of dollars and help to keep team members safe. So with the remote press check workflow, we are actually taking a digital photo of the press sheet. The digital photo or digital image then of the actual press sheet that's running on the press right that second is delivered to the customer electronically. The display will enable you to then compare the press sheet that's coming off the press right then to the original Grackle electronic file side by side. You saw in the booth, if you also had a physical inkjet proof, you could put that in the booth as well, and you could be comparing the physical inkjet proof with the digital Grackle proof and the photo of the press run. So it provides a visual window to your quality team and can be measured in terms of color accuracy. A visual report for all parties in the project, and the solution for creatives and brands for those who want the visuals and need metrics. So everyone is seeing the same thing. So not only is the customer using this platform, but the print production facility is using this platform, and everyone is dialed in to seeing the exact same color. So how it's currently been done, and we've talked to lots of customers here over the last year, is typically with an iPhone. Most people that we talk to, they have a press operator who is simply snapping photos with their smartphone, and these pictures are then emailed to the customer. So not only are they not capturing the image properly or accurately, they have no control over how the customer is viewing the image either. They generally know this, and so this would just be a content proof, not a color proof. So does it show accurate representation of color? Absolutely not. So the proper environment has some specific requirements. The proper lighting, the environment in which the photo is taken and viewed is incredibly important. The viewing light, the ambient room light, the light that is shining on the image or physical piece when you're taking a picture of it has everything to do with what it looks like. So the device capturing the photo and its settings determines its color and color shifts and automatic settings. And the right software, the color data tells you the most about the accuracy and the tolerance. So this is a photo of our actual press check box. This contains, it's a brand new product, and it's been developed by both Alder and ICS and myself. It's a patented design. It's one of a kind. We don't know of anything on the market exactly like it. It's got 5000K. There's also 6500K option. The LED lights that we use in this box are 99 CRI. So it is absolutely pure white, controlled color for digital capture. And so on the top of this box, there's a hole and the camera points straight down. And you can see that there's like an opening here on the side. Generally, there is a flap that covers this so we don't let light from the outside in or light from the inside out. And so the press operator would slide a sheet in here and hit a button, and the camera would take a photo of the image. So this system also comes with a PC. It comes with a professional graphics monitor. It comes with ICC profiling software for the camera. It comes with a tethered camera capture software. It's a flagship proofing software from Remote Director, and it includes the installation, configuration, and training. So generally, the printing company is going to have at least one of both the press checkbox and the proof checkbox. The press checkbox is where they capture the digital image, and the proof checkbox is where they view the digital image. So remote press check workflow. The captured digital image of a press sheet, the press operator would slide that right into the box. They hit a button and the camera takes a picture of the press sheet. A custom camera profile is then applied to the image, which automatically color corrects and provides you with the most accurate possible image that you could capture. That image is then uploaded to Remote Director, which is a cloud-based software. Then that is then shared with the client. The client is then invited to view the proof, and all of the color management is contained in the file. So they don't have to worry about setting anything on their machines. As soon as the file comes in, it dictates all the settings. And the calibration of the monitor is built into Remote Director. And it is the best monitor calibration software on the market. And so if the monitor hasn't been calibrated for some time, and you can specify that time range, you can force the client to recalibrate the display before they're able to look at the digital proof. So this is also available as a press side setup. You can see here we have monitors, above and below each other and side by side with each other, mounted in press consoles. And this is also being viewed in Remote Director. So the press operator can see exactly what's going on the press side and the client side. So they're seeing the exact same thing that their client is seeing in real time. So we are able to generate a report from our camera profiling software solutions and provided a report that shows that our press check system provides color accuracy below an average of 1 delta E, and that the digital press is accomplishing this using the press check or proof check system. So the comments and all the sign-offs and all the communications, all the versions, everything are collected within Remote Director, and that ties the entire solution together. So the soft proofing is a combination of the proper or optimal hardware, proper or optimal software setup and color management, and then a robust software system as the workflow to deliver all of this stuff. So lots of benefits. We covered this a little bit, but just as a summary, we're picking up huge amounts of time. These consumer product groups, are looking to come to market faster and be more responsive. And the way it is now, where we're outputting inkjet proofs and mailing them and marking them up and mailing them back and going round and round with this stuff, is generally, inefficient and time consuming. The cost involved with this for inkjet and for the travel costs for lodging, airfare, so on is extensive. And the quality of the proofs doesn't suffer. It's actually as accurate, if not more accurate, than the inkjet proofs. And of course, the whole solution is pandemic friendly and keeps everybody safe. So in summary, the apprehension is natural, but it's going to happen sooner or later. The virtual proofing and remote press checks are the future. The color approval process is lengthy and can be done faster and better. And it's completely safe and efficient and extremely accurate, and can save you money as well. So at this point, we'll open it up to questions that we might have.
Great, thanks, Dan. I wanted to just kind of throw in just a little bit. One of the biggest apprehensions, 20 years ago was, could inkjet be used as a proof? Everybody wanted to see a dot. And we talked about this with our previous presentation a little bit, that there was an awful lot of discussion. Well, if I don't see a dot, is it an accurate proof? And I think we're at the same stage now with the remote proofing that we were 20 years ago with inkjet proofs. Inkjet proofs are now the accepted standard across the industry, and nobody produces a dot proof anymore. So I think we are kind of at that tipping point now where we're going to start seeing more of this, especially with the controls that we can implement now. So just wanted to kind of throw that in there. And if anybody has any questions, we're opening it up to the group now. And
Dan must have done such a great job explaining things.
I guess so. If there are no other questions, then all of our contact information is up there on the screen. We will be publishing this, and we'll send an email out with the link to this recording and to the previous recording also, for anybody that would like to review it. And if you have any other questions, feel free to give any one of us shoot us an email, and we'll get back with you on any questions you might have. If not, Dan, thank you. Dan Caldwell, thank you. Vicki, thank you. And we'll be signing off then. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks for attending.
Okay, bye.